looking at this. So, okay, right. Well, so we'll get underway, and I'm just... Various councillors are actually in the room, but Pauline was here before, and so was Raf. So anyway, but we'll get underway. And I'd like to start off by inviting the Textile and Fibre Arts Network, Juliet Devlin, to come forward. And you've got someone else with you as well. And please feel free to sit down. Yeah, yeah. We're very welcoming and
Good.
friendly.
Thank you.
Want me to give those out?
Yes, thank you. So I'm Julie Devlin from the Textile and Fibre Arts Network, and this is our Secretary, Ros McCarthy.
Oh, one of the staff will help you deliver those
support me.
Thank you.
And our group is an umbrella group for 10 textile-related groups with the objectives of promoting and supporting local textile groups to increase participation, facilitate collaboration, fundraise, research and plan for a shared textile and fibre arts venue. And we have circulated our brochure, which was published by some advertisers that we've worked in partnership with. They funded it. I have 3 topics to speak to. The first one is the arts funding, and these comments are in support of the Arts Voice submission, that arts funding should be maintained and hopefully increased as part of the long-term plan. And not just for the existing higher profile performance arts, but for new organisations, activities and initiatives that arise during the rebuild. And we fit into that latter group. We see any decrease in arts funding to be a really backward step. We feel that the arts in whatever shape or form are what makes Christchurch a special place to live, work, retire in or visit, and the arts have never been more relevant and contribute to the special character of our city. Creative pursuits are the rewards we give ourselves for the daily grind, whether it's attending a performance or, in our case, creating a woven, quilted, embroidered or knitted item. We also make a general comment in support, this also came out of the Arts Voice meeting, in support of the new Community Arts and Events Unit about to be established at the City Council. And we support the proposal that was briefly discussed that arts-related funding currently scattered across community support, strategy and planning, and events and festivals be pulled into this new unit. Our second topic is bringing people together, and we firmly believe that creative activity strengthens social networks, it breaks down cultural, age and other barriers, and reduces social isolation, especially for those living alone and older people. And these social benefits contribute to a healthy community and an enjoyable quality of life. The arts bring people to our city. In our case, some of our member groups are large enough to organise national conferences, and there are 2 planned for 2017. A growth in population due to an ageing demographic will increase interest and participation in the creative and other arts. This increase in population needs to be taken into consideration as part of the long-term plan and is another reason why arts funding should not be cut. Our third topic relates to our own group, the Textile and Fibre Arts Network. Meeting space for larger community arts, crafts and other groups. Despite the large number of community facilities managed by the City Council, there is a lack of larger meeting space for groups of 60 to 100 who have special requirements. And these requirements are home groups for groups who need full-time use of rooms, as well as meeting space for those who meet weekly, monthly, etc. The additional needs of our groups are storage space for libraries and equipment, parking, etc. Sharing meeting space and resources would be hugely beneficial for these groups. While those of our groups affected by loss of venues have found adequate meeting venues, we still have one large group, Canterbury Embroidery Guild, membership 140, who need full-time use of a venue. We are prepared to work in partnership with any large community group to lease at community rates, modify or build such a venue. That is our long-term goal. We ask that as part of the City Council long-term plan that land or unused facilities be set aside for new community initiatives for groups such as ours who are too large for existing community facilities and are prepared to partner with any other large community groups towards this shared goal. So to summarise for the long-term plan, that the City Council maintain or increase funding for the arts and thinking beyond the high-profile performing arts, and in consideration of the increased participation that will come with an ageing population who will seek more recreational opportunities. And secondly, that the City Council make provision for new initiatives in regard to land or unused facilities for large community groups. And thank you for the opportunity to make this submission to the plan, and hopefully we'll be able to answer any questions.
Lovely, thank you. Vicky, Yanni?
Thank you for your submission. Just two suggestions. Have you spoken to the people who are currently looking for groups who want to meet at the new Te Hapua, the Horsewall Library facility?
No, and that's probably because our...
No problem, we can introduce you.
Yeah.
And secondly, the Phillipstown Community Hub.
I have tried to follow up with the Strengthening Communities coordinator, Shapaya Impanga, I think her name is, but I have had no reply from her.
So should we get your reply back on that, because that's obviously an opportunity?
Yeah, that's
presents
definitely
itself.
one I've been trying to follow through, but she must be a very busy lady.
Yep, Mary's
Yeah.
onto it.
Yep, Yanni, and then
Thank
Phil.
you. I mean, I think Phillipstown is a really good temporary option, but I hear you saying we need to think about the permanent.
Yes.
And we need to look at the priorities in terms of the money going into sport, into other arts, creative sectors versus almost nothing for the community sector in the central city.
Yeah, we feel very, this part of our group coming together was to raise the profile of these many community groups that are still battling on in tiny church halls.
So when I reflect on the history, I think of the old Peterborough Centre, and I think I went for a wee tour once, and there were different little groups in
that's
there.
correct. Yeah.
And so you've lost that. The Arts Centre used to have a number of groups.
That's
You've
gone.
lost that.
Yes.
Has there been anything in the central city that either Sarah or the council have offered?
Nothing.
Right.
No. We did have very close liaison with Natalie Cadenhead from Sarah,
Right.
but unfortunately she's passed away.
Because they have all these properties in the South Frame,
Yeah.
and it just seemed like a really good opportunity. So maybe part of your request could also be to ask to actually talk to Sarah about trying to find some of those venues. The final question for
But
me
that'll
was,
be temporary too.
I would have thought
Yeah.
permanent.
Yes.
But the bus interchange, having somewhere in the central city, even if it had some sort of car parking restrictions, but having this sort of creative activity around something like the bus interchange, would that work for you? Or do you need more space in terms of...
The car parking is a major problem.
Yeah. We really would love somewhere just outside the four main avenues, like Sydenham, Riccarton, Woolston, Linwood, St Albans, Phillipstown.
Yeah.
Somewhere that just accessible by bus, but not in the central city, because when we have big groups meeting, we could have if we had our own facility, there could be 2 or 3 groups there, or a workshop in a group, and would have to have some parking. Stadium would be great. We've looked at Christchurch Exchange. It's not quite big enough.
House?
Community House, no, we haven't.
Down
looked
Litchfield
there.
Street.
Yeah.
I don't think that's big enough.
Yeah, we
60
sort of
people?
envisage.
Only one, but one space, a shared space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's some big spaces.
for 3 groups. No, well, I mean, I don't.
Yeah, anyway,
Anyway,
yeah,
Phil.
Thank you. Most of my questions have been answered in terms of the locations where, you and where you need facility. But it just seems, has there been like an upsurge in interest and involvement in the area of textile and fibre arts.
Yeah, well, there was a big fall in membership initially because so many people were dealing with their own situations, but that's really built up. And I mean, I've been a member of my guild for 16 years, and we've had a 30% increase over that time in members. And I think that's part of the ageing population as well. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yep, that's great. Well, thank you very much for your submission.
Thank you.
And could I now invite Sport Canterbury, Linda Cox? That doesn't look